All right, we have to ask the question. I know how I would have reacted if Kyle would have called me and said that, and that doesn't need to be on air. But as a competitor, how did you accept that call of like, hey, they're moving up to go get another quarterback? What did you feel internally first, and then obviously now how are you with Trey Lance?
Yeah, I mean, initially when it happened, you got everything going through your head. You try to create scenarios and you think of everything and start overthinking it. But at the end of the day, I asked John. I remember I asked him, am I going to have a chance to compete and go out there and do my thing? And he said, yeah, no problem. And that's really all I could ask for. And so as long as I'm given that opportunity, I'll compete with anyone.
And look, that's kind of where you sit right now. You are the starting quarterback for the 49ers. Kyle Shanahan has said as much many times now. What's your level? Like, how would you describe like your level of understanding in this offense now, as you've been here multiple years here with the Niners?
I feel really comfortable in it, honestly. Yeah. I think you know, it's been shown out here just with our whole offense in general. There's guys who have been around it for a little while. Guys are correcting, you know, rookies and younger guys, and when players are doing that instead of the coaches, it goes a long way and kind of sets a tone and sets a standard that we have here.
And quickly in that kind of relationship there with Trey as a rookie coming into this offense, like you know, you had a couple of years before you came here to see some things in the NFL. Mm-hmm. Like, how difficult do you feel like it is for him to pick things up and kind of get things ready to go and get acclimated here?
I mean, it's tough for any rookie, especially the quarterback position. So whenever you get put into that role, it's I don't know, you just got to kind of roll with the punches and try to pick up things as fast as you can. But it's tough for any rookie out here.
What do you feel about George Kittle and tight end you and him kind of being a double agent?
Wow.
Giving a little bit of secrets to other guys out there to kind of get after your defense.
I know George. I know he's keeping the real secrets in his back pocket. So I trust him. You know, he's teaching him some things, but the
not
main
everything.
stuff. Yeah, not everything, exactly.
So what's that connection? You and George feel like thick as thieves every time. I feel like we see you guys walk out of the locker room every day together. What's your relationship like with George?
It's awesome. It's been great. He follows me out of the locker room every single day, like you just said. So it's a little
follows you out of the locker room.
No, but it's he's my boy. He really is, and he you know, when we come out here, the quarterback's usually the one setting the tone. George does a great job of doing that right there with me, and I appreciate him for that. And he's a great guy to be around.
What are you expecting out of preseason? Are you a guy who wants to get a lot of time out there and kind of knock some rust off and really get back out there, or where do you feel with that?
Yeah, I think initially it's good. I think the first couple games, I'm a big fan that we turned it into 3 games instead of 4. But yeah, I think, you know, let the coaches do what they want with that. But, yeah, I think it's always good to get out there initially and knock some of the rust off.
I think we talk a lot when we talk about, you know, Trey Lance, the athleticism, and just, you know, big-built dude, and you know, obviously can throw the ball. And, I mean, are you out there like, hey, like, I can run a little bit too, right? Like, are you kind of like, don't forget about my athleticism here?
When the time is right. You know, it's I'd rather throw the ball first. But, yeah, when the time's right, when it's needed, you got to do what you got to do.
That's what you learned from Tom, right? That was the biggest thing, the athleticism, take off every now and then?
You said that, not me.
There you go.
Why you gotta do him like that, Rhett? Salt and peppered Jimmy G coming through with the interview.
All
right,
good scouting, MJ.
Right? It's a look. Him and Shanny looking like they're the same age. They're not. Jimmy G's about to be 30. But it's been a long year. It's been a long year, guys. DJ, who do you think gives the 49ers the best opportunity to win the division?
Well, I think they actually can win the division with either one of these quarterbacks because the roster is so talented. But I'll say Jimmy G gives them that high floor, so I think that's the safer move, and I think that's where they start this process is with Jimmy. If they keep him healthy, he could ride this thing all the way out. But Mike, if I take my analyst hat off and just put my fan hat on, I cannot wait to see what Kyle Shanahan does with Trey Lance once he takes over this position, because this offense is going to go in places it's never gone before. When you can mix in some of the quarterback run game, it's going to open up the run game for their backs as well. I'm looking forward to seeing that. I don't know how long it's going to take till we get there, but that is going to be fun to watch whenever that day comes.
Man, you took the words right out of my mouth, DJ. It is going to be fun. I cannot imagine Trey Lance in this Kyle Shanahan's offense. I mean, could you imagine, like, you know, play action from off the quarterback run game scheme? Like, like, it's going to provide so many issues for those defenses out there in the NFC West. And I'm really looking at that the big-time defense out there in Los Angeles with the Los Angeles Rams. Just the ability to be able to run. You talked about opening up for the run game. That backside defensive end, you don't have to block him, but he still has to sit there and wait on Trey Lance, a movement quarterback who could not necessarily just go 30 or 40. This kid, we've seen him in college. He's gone 80. He's gone all the way and taken it for the touchdown. And what I love about him, DJ, is, at least from the college standpoint, we've seen him not turn the football over a lot. To me, that's the first thing that'll get you on the field fast in the National Football League, is taking care of the football at the quarterback position. If Trey Lance can really show that he grasps the offense, okay, he cannot turn the football over and put this team and offense in a bad situation. I'm looking after that Week 6 bye. Why not put Trey Lance in? Why not just try it out and see? Because as you mentioned before, this roster is there. The defense is there. Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuels, I mean, they have a roster that is ready to compete for a championship right now.
Yeah, they're ready to go right now, and we just saw some video there. This is one of my favorite things about training camp, Mike Robb, so I'm going to give you a quick quiz. Be honest. Tell the truth. Okay. Until you saw Josh Rosen cross the street, did you remember that he was still a San Francisco 49er? Be honest.
Oh, snap. I'm being honest. I did not remember that.
Are you in my head,
probably
DJ?
wouldn't have came out of my mouth.
That's what I'm saying. Every training camp, you see a guy walk across the screen, you're like, whoa.
Welcome to another hour of NFL Total Access. My name is MJ Acosta-Ruiz, and in a minute, we are taking you to Cowboys camp, where Dak Prescott has an update on that shoulder. How bad is it? Well, he'll tell you himself. But first, how bad is it in Tampa? Because at the end of practice today, the reigning Super Bowl MVP was cursing mad. Oh, yeah. This reads, dropped passes and general lack of execution had Brady describing practice as something that rhymes with gritty, but isn't nearly as flattering. Bruce Arians never once amends his words, described practice as horse bleep. Arians warning his guys that soccer practice is over when the pads go on. That happens Sunday. Thankfully, there were some good news today about Brady's knee.
It feels good now. I mean, it was not my favorite offseason of all time. I haven't had surgery in a long time. So you kind of forget the rehab process and so forth. But yeah, it's kind of a long, arduous offseason when you go through rehab like that. So I got a lot of time with my family and stuff, so that was really enjoyable. But, you know, happy to be back to work. And, yeah, just got to get out and try to get better tomorrow.
Hello to Michael Robinson and Daniel Jeremiah. Now, guys, we know Tom is terrific, and the TB12 method works amazingly for Brady, but we can't discount the fact that he's about to turn 44 next week and is coming off a knee injury. DJ, he says he feels fine, but is there any cause for concern?
I'm not going to doubt him. I'm just not going to doubt Tom Brady. I was just looking it up because I was trying to remember. Right. Bill Belichick's the smartest person in this sport, and he drafted Jimmy Garoppolo in 2014. So 7 years ago, the smartest guy in our sport was preparing for the end of Tom Brady, and it never comes. Rob, I don't know. I just have no reason to doubt this guy. I guess he just played till he didn't want to play anymore.
Yeah, I don't have no reason to doubt him either. Last year, 610 attempts. That was second in the National Football League, almost 5,000 yards. That was third, 40 touchdowns, and that was at 43. So if you can call him a grandfather, grandpa, pop, I don't care what you call him. The man's still playing some elite football. I don't necessarily worry about Tom Brady, and I think Tom Brady has earned the right to curse and be very real about how practice was, and I always like how he includes himself in that, right? There were some misreads and things like that. That's what happens when you win 7 championships. You get a chance to do that and get some sale personnel, but we're not going to go there with Aaron Rodgers. We're not talking about Aaron Rodgers. We're talking about Tom Brady. I didn't mean to throw no shot at Aaron Rodgers, but I'm just saying that's That's the type of guy that deserves to be able to have something to say in the organization. And quite frankly, guys, I think this offense is going to be better this year with O.J. Howard coming back. I mean, that's a 1,000-yard tight end that just missed 12 games last year, and you put him back into the fold with all those hot rods on the outside with the backs they have in the backfield. I don't see Grandpa Tom Brady slowing down no time soon.
Yeah, in scouting, we talk about when you have a clean pocket, you can sit back there in a rocking chair. Like, he literally could, you know, he fit the profile there. Get in that rocking chair, get off your feet,
Yes.
get comfortable back there. But look, if you're going to be an older quarterback, you want to be protected. I think this offensive line is only going to be better with some of those young players. I mean, Tristan Wirfs was phenomenal last year at right tackle. He's going to be better with more experience as we come into this year. All the weapons that he has around him. Now he understands the offense even better. It sounds crazy, MJ, because there's nothing to ever draw on historically. But I think the 44-year-old Tom Brady is going to be better than the 43-year-old Tom Brady.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of underworld deal Tom Brady has, but I want in on it. Period. I'm not above it. I'm not. But Brady did tell reporters today that he still doesn't know if he'll play in preseason, but he would like to play as much as possible. I have a feeling, though, Brady and company will pick up from their not-so-great day tomorrow when Andrew Siciliano and Brady's pal, Willie McGinest, will be covering their practice as part of our Back Together special. All right, y'all, hold on 1 second there, because as for Brady's former team, the Patriots were back at it again, and the quarterbacks were given a chance to air out the ball after 2 days of red zone drills. Cam Newton isn't afraid of a little quarterback competition with Mac Jones either. He said he's been in one since he got to New England, and it's part of the Patriot way. Newton also had a little praise for the rookie.
Cool like the other side of the pillow. You know what I'm saying? You know, you never know when he's really, you know, down on himself. You don't really necessarily know when, you know, he's up either. You know what I'm saying? He's real cool.
And I'd say the same about Cam. Obviously, with any relationship and meeting someone new, regardless of position or if, you know, he's a teammate or not, you have to form the bond and the trust. And he's been a great teammate, and he's helped me and made it a lot of fun. You know, like rookie, your first couple practices as a rookie is going to be hard. So he just tries to stay positive with me, and that's just who Cam is. So hopefully I can learn, try to be like him in some ways and have fun with it. And we're going to grow together, and we're going to help each other win games, hopefully.
Let's take a look at this QB competition from the Patriots Twitter page perspective. Posted this picture of the two, captioning it, the rookie and the vet. All right, so DJ and M-Rob, the Patriots haven't called this a quarterback competition, but I mean, M-Rob, how confident are you that Cam can keep his job for the whole season?
Well, first and foremost, I can't wait to see Mac Jones get out of that 50 jersey, man. That just looks crazy, man. You're not no center. Get out of that 50 jersey. But anyway, that's a whole nother,
I don't think that's his choice.
conversation.
I don't think that's his choice.
That's a whole other conversation. But, yeah, I think Cam is going to hold on to this job early in the season. But I tell you, Cam can't falter, man. And I think Cam is in a juncture in his career where he can no longer be the team's leading rusher. He can no longer be the team's #1 running back. And that's what seemed to happen last year with the New England Patriots in this offense, this Josh McDaniels offense that Cam Newton was trying to operate in. And I know COVID came, and I know there were some hurdles there. But at the end of the day, Cam's got to get better in the passing game. And I'm talking about intermediate passing. Cam has to be better there. And if Mac Jones, the guy that we saw, if he's the guy that we saw from the SEC last year who was very accurate, when the pocket's clean, he's going to dice you up and hit those intermediate passes. Cam's not going to be able to falter. We're not going to be able to see those press conferences where we're asking Bill Belichick, is Cam Newton, because he pulled them because the offense was sputtering, is he still the starter? If he gets pulled this year for Mac Jones, this is Mac Jones' team going forward. And when you look at the defense, you look at the offensive line, the running backs, DJ, it seems like this team is set up kind of for a rookie quarterback to do his thing.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. And the more you look at the roster construction and you see the ability to protect the young quarterback, his ability to quickly get through reads and get the ball out, well, you need guys that can uncover. So you go out and get two very talented tight ends in Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry. that give you those easy completions in the middle of the field. And you got a defense that's not going to let the score get away from you where you're going to have to chase points and throw the ball a billion times. So I do think this is an environment that's set up for a rookie quarterback to play. But Imrod, I'd be burying the lead side by side. Every time I see Cam Newton, my jaw hits the floor of just how big he is. I mean, his calves look like quads. I mean, he is enormous. He is just a specimen out there. There's only one Cam Newton. He is one of one.
Yeah. And DJ, that's why I can't see Cam Newton being a backup quarterback with this team. I mean, just his bravado, when he walks into a locker room, you've already heard Mac Jones say, man, this guy's making camp fun. Cam Newton's going to always own your locker room. And if you truly want your young quarterback to flourish, your first-round pick in Mac Jones, you may have to think about having a personality like that as your backup quarterback. It could divide your locker room if the young quarterback ever struggles.
Calf quads, the goal of every dude at the gym on leg day. All right, so one other QB note there. Backup Jarrett Stidham had back surgery Wednesday. Ian Rappaport said Stidham should be back in 12 weeks or so. We'll have a closer look at the quarterbacks tomorrow. Mike Giardi is at Pat's practice, part of our Back Together marathon. Get ready for your workouts, guys. All right, new team, old problem for Carson Wentz. This time, it's a foot injury. Tom Pelissero has the latest.
Colts quarterback Carson Wentz is consulting a specialist to determine whether he needs surgery on the foot he injured late in practice on Thursday. Dr. Robert Anderson is reviewing Wentz's scans, potentially could determine a course of action as soon as Saturday morning. Now, what I am told is that there is still hope Wentz could be ready for week 1. This is not considered a particularly serious or significant injury, but if he needs surgery, Wentz could potentially miss regular season action.
32 teams. Now, the big story in Oxnard is Dak Prescott's shoulder. He's still on the field, just not doing everything.
I think it's just something that I didn't want to happen that just happened. I don't know necessarily if I warmed up properly before I made a certain throw on one of the days, but I think it's just something, as we said, it's just taking the
practice field and just coming from an ankle injury and 4 days to the camp, you're out.
Yeah, I mean, obviously a little bummed about it, but I'm still being active. I'm still seeing the defense, still being a part of everything. So it's not like, obviously, anything that the ankle was. And I know I'll be fine. I know I'm doing the treatment just came from that, doing everything necessary to make sure that I'll be just fine. So I'm not worried about that, and it's not anything I worry about lingering or causing problems. So not even near the same aspect of the ankle deal and the time that I had to take from that.
When do you anticipate throwing again, and what do you need to feel or not feel, I guess, to kind of resume that?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'll take it day by day, continue to do the treatments and everything I'm doing. Early morning, late nights, doing everything I need to, and stretching and doing everything proper that I want to get it to where I want to feel. And obviously just a little less tightness than it has. And if it's in 2 days or if it's in a couple of days, then I'll get back to throwing, and I'm sure I'll just take it slow as I do that. But I think it's, as I said, it's making a deep throw or an aggressive throw at the moment right now that I don't necessarily want to risk it.
I mean, I feel like he was pretty straightforward there, was pretty good at evading a couple of those questions there. But DJ, our friend and insider Ian Rappaport said earlier on Inside Training Camp Live that Dak went to trainers pretty quickly, pretty much as soon as he felt something in his shoulder. Does that make a difference?
No, I think he's smart to get out in front of that. And sometimes when you have the contract taken care of, it makes it real easy to be open and honest about, you know, how your body's feeling. So I'm glad he did that. And this really shouldn't come as a big surprise. When you have a quarterback who's had a lower body injury, and especially when you talk about your ankle, you're not. You don't have that confidence to be able to grind those cleats into the ground, to be able to power off, to be able to throw the football. Mike, you know, you throw with your legs. And so when you're not doing that, that can put a little extra stress, a little extra strain on your arm. So this is not unusual to see a little bit of an arm issue following a lower body issue. I'm just glad, again, he handled it right away. They got out in front of it, get the proper rest and treatment, and then he'll be back and good to go.
Yeah, every time he checks his bank account and see those fat checks going up in there, yeah, I'm going to go tell the trainer exactly what's wrong with me, man. I'm paid now, you know what I'm saying? So to your point earlier, absolutely, it gives you that calmness to be able to go to the trainers and let them know. But just what you're talking about, for a right-handed quarterback, that right foot is vitally important, driving through throws, and that's where all your force comes from. That's where all your power comes from. And maybe, just maybe, from a mental standpoint, that maybe he's putting a little bit more focus on just throwing it with just the arm. And guys, we have to just think about what Dak Prescott has seen over the last year, right? He got paid. This team was averaging 33 points, almost 400 passing yards a game when he was on the field last year. And when he wasn't on the field, this team, not just offense, but the entire team kind of just went to you know what. You see what I'm saying? They didn't play too well. So there's a tremendous amount of pressure on Dak Prescott to go out there, practice every day, and throw the football with great velocity and show everybody, look, I'm back. I'm worth all of this. And if I'm the Dallas Cowboys training staff and coaching staff, I'm happy he's able to get a rest 4 days into camp, because sometimes you got to protect the athlete from himself. And I think there's a lot of pressure on Dak Prescott with the contract and all the things going on that's surrounding him playing for the Dallas Cowboys. So I think it's a needed break for Dak Prescott this early in camp.
Yeah, and to me, the timing's huge to be able to get this early in camp. You got plenty of runway left here to get ready for the season. But MJ, I want to see if we're still vibing and connecting here, because you were with me on the Josh Rosen thing. But did you see Dak smirk when he said, I didn't get a chance to do the proper warm-up? And all I was thinking about was the salsa gif of him doing that warm-up that everybody kept rolling over and over and over again. So that's all I could think of when he said I didn't get that proper warm-up.
There are a few variations of that. There's a merengue one, the hip action. Listen, the meme circulated forever. I don't think that's what he meant, but he was pretty quick on letting him know, I'm not telling you when it happened. He's quick there, if not on his feet. All right, we are, of course, all over Cowboys camp and how Dak Prescott's shoulder looks. So we'll have more of that tomorrow and are back together Saturday. The playmaker himself, Michael Irvin, will catch up with Dak. You don't want to miss that. All right, so the Ravens training camp isn't going according to plan. Both Lamar Jackson and running back Gus Edwards are on the COVID list and not practicing. But offensive coordinator Greg Roman said Lamar is engaged with the team mentally. So for more on what's going on in Owings Mills, here's Mike Garofalo.
Mark, third day of camp here. Couple nice catches for you. One in the end zone there, laying out to grab that one. Lamar Jackson's not here. You guys have a great connection, but are you able to still get in good work here? You got these rolling quarterbacks in here.
Yeah, Mike, good to talk to you again. It's been awesome, man. Everyone flying around. These quarterbacks are playing their butts off, man. So just getting that chemistry with them is only going to make our team stronger for sure.
Is it tough? I mean, you've had plenty of reps with Lamar. You got a great connection with him. Is it tough that he's not here and you can't get these reps right now?
You know, obviously Lamar's my guy. He's my day one guy. So it's tough, but you know, he's fighting through that COVID, and he's going to be back stronger than ever. And we're going to be back hitting the ball rolling, and when he gets back from COVID, for sure.
Big year for you, contract year. Do you think about that at all? I mean, does that enter your mentality? Have you thought about your style of play and everything you do coming into a contract year?
I mean, yeah, it's a contract year, but yeah, the way I play is going out there every time, try to help my team win, and that's what I'm going to do. It's a big year, but at the end of the day, I'm just going to go out there and play football, which is what I always intend to do.
It's training camp time. We always talk about who are the top teams. Sometimes who are the top five. That's your mentality, right? Top five's your mentality. Explain your top five mentality, where that comes from.
Yeah, so growing up, I have two older brothers, older sister. So being the youngest, try to have that confidence of being top five in everything. Top five in Arizona in the state of, driving or whatever it may be. So it's a mantra of having that confidence that going out there and you're going to be the best.
You guys as an offense this year, You've been one of the top offenses, but you're talking about expanding it, being more multiple. That's what I keep hearing. What does that mean for the Ravens and the offense this year, being more multiple?
Obviously, we do a lot of things well. I've run the ball, play action, everything like that, and being able to throw the ball pretty successfully, but being able to stretch the field. Our receivers right now are flying around, man. Dangerous group, so I'm excited to show that off on Sundays.
You could definitely see it. Sammy Watkins, Rashad Bateman, you've got the targets. Looks like it's going to be a dynamic offense, maybe even more dynamic than we've seen. Good luck to you, the entire offense, the entire Ravens team.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
The NFL's Fan of the Year contest, presented by Captain Morgan Original Spiced Rum, returns for 2021, and we're looking to celebrate more extraordinary fans just like you. More positive influence and
That was probably the coolest 15 minutes of my life.
Yeah, sure, I'll tie your shoe. This is way harder this way.
Hey, empty the tank for me. It's gonna come down to the end, all right? White 80, sit!
Toss play over to the Riders, Jalen Richard, and he got a first down, touchdown! Touchdown!
Yeah! Boom! Let's go!
Ah, yes, the landscape of the AFC West. A little roll call for you. You can see the Chargers on deck there. Some juggling going on there with the Broncos, Raiders there in your bottom right. But the Chiefs, we got a little bit more for you there, because Jeff Shadia, he's at Chiefs camp, and he's kicking off our training camp tour.
Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce left yesterday's practice with a hip strain, back strain that the Chiefs didn't think was a big deal. But today, he wasn't at practice at all. He walked out about 30 to 45 minutes into the session, wearing a jersey and shorts, walking gingerly, hanging out with the quarterbacks on the sidelines, and not participating in any drills. Now, our own Tom Pelissero reported yesterday that the Chiefs don't think this is a big deal. They look forward to having him back because they know he's the best tight end in football, a big part of this offense, and they think this is more about a precautionary approach than anything serious. But they hope to get him back soon because they need their best tight end on the field. And now we'll send it over to Omar Ruiz with the Raiders.
After a 1-5 record to end the 2019 season and a 2-5 finish to end the 2020 year, one of the themes heading into this season for the Raiders is to finish strong, both in the fourth quarter of games and in the second half of the year. Defensive coordinator Gus Bradley telling me that at every opportunity during practices so far in training camp, they are reminding the players how important it is to finish, whether it's a 4th and inch situation, how critical it is to stop that drive, or at the end of practices to be as competitive when they're tired as they are at the beginning of practice. If they can form those habits now, then come December, they're hopeful they can get the results they need to get back to the postseason for the first time since the 2016 season. For more now on Bradley's former team, let's send it down to Cynthia Freeland.
Thanks, Omar. Keeping it in the AFC West, I'm here in Costa Mesa, where the Chargers wrapped up practice earlier today. A practice where we saw Justin Herbert looking sharp, connecting with Keenan Allen, making the crowd just absolutely go wild. I got a chance to talk to head coach Brandon Staley about the differences between Justin Herbert last year versus this season. And really, he told me it's all about that O-line, a totally revamped O-line this offseason. 5 new guys. The only returning starter, Brian Bulaga, the right tackle from last season. It's going to look totally different, and that pressure percentage, where Justin Herbert was under pressure, 4th most in the NFL last season, should look completely different, making a great opportunity for all of his skill players. Back to you.
All right, so here's a look at how things finished up in the AFC West after the 2020 season. The Chiefs have won 5 consecutive AFC West titles, going from 2016 to 2020. They are tied for the 7th longest streak of division titles in NFL history. Daniel Jeremiah, is this the year the Chargers put it all together and get past the Chiefs?
I'm not going to go so far as to say they get past the Chiefs, but I do think in this division they pose the best threat, the biggest threat to the Kansas City Chiefs. And trust me, for the 2 Chiefs fans that don't know, I do call the Charger games, full disclosure, because I get a lot of that on social media. But M-Rob, when I look at teams that can make a leap, I look at 2 things. Look at the quarterback position, and I look at pass rush. And to me, Justin Herbert is the 2nd best quarterback in this division. He's got all that ability, all that talent, only getting better. And then Joey Bosa, to me, is the best pass rusher. So when you combine those 2 things and hopefully a healthy roster, something the Chargers haven't had very often, I think they can push the Chiefs a little bit.
Yeah, I agree with you, DJ. I really think, you know, that big, strong-arm kid in Justin Herbert, he presents the biggest threat, and that team presents the biggest threat overall to the Kansas City Chiefs. But, man, I got to go out there to Vegas a little bit, man, and just look at last year and how the Las Vegas Raiders played the Kansas City Chiefs. Man, they beat them up. It was a black and blue type of a game, right? And it was embodied in their running back in Josh Jacobs. They gave that kid the ball 43 times in 2 games, and it gave this team, talking about the Los Angeles Raiders, a chance at the end of games, and they just couldn't quite finish it at the end of games. It seems like the Raiders don't beat many people outside their division, but you have to own the division if you want to go to the playoffs, and if you want to own the AFC West, you have to go through the Kansas City Chiefs. But I just think that the Raiders' mentality, Max Crosby and all those guys on the defensive line, how they get after it, they're not scared of the Kansas City Chiefs. And it just sometimes it seems like when Kansas City shows up, they already kind of beat you psychologically because of the talent that they have. They don't do that, or that doesn't happen when they're playing the Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah, and one thing I would just add on that, the Raiders did play them tough, but so did the Chargers. And in that first meeting, as you all remember, I mean, Justin Herbert went from a hat to a helmet like this as they're flipping the coin out there. He's, I'm starting. And he went in there, and they took the Chiefs to overtime in his first start. Now, they played later on in the season. The Chiefs, it was their JV team as they were getting ready for the postseason. The Chargers won that football game. I don't care who's on the field. It does give you some confidence to go into that stadium and get a win. So both the Raiders and the Chargers have given the Chiefs a little bit of a push here. And it's going to be fun to see, in my opinion, one of the most improved divisions underneath the Kansas City Chiefs.
Absolutely. And for the Chargers, I'm sorry, MJ. I just wanted to get this in. For the Chargers, they definitely have to stay healthy, especially with Dervin James coming back. I can't wait to see that matchup with Travis Kelce and Dervin James one-on-one inside the red zone. It's going to be awesome, man. Get your popcorn ready.
You know I have all of the snacks ready at any given moment, you guys, but we're going to have some fun with the AFC West teams, of course, when we are